It's the end of the week, and so it's time to take out the trash. My garbage person of the week is someone who has had some awful stuff to say about gun violence that I've largely ignored since the shooting earlier this week. I decided I don't even want to see what she's been saying about the Uvalde shooting, but I will do a couple of throwbacks of horrible things she's had to say in this area. It is Marjorie Greene, as it has very often been. Here's a throwback video of what she had to say on this area.
I've got a question for you. How do you get avid gun owners and people that support the Second Amendment to give up their guns and go along with anti-gun legislation? How do you do that? Maybe you accomplish that by performing a mass shooting into a crowd that is very likely to be conservative, very likely to vote Republican, very likely to be Trump supporters, very likely to be pro-Second Amendment, and very likely to own guns. You make them scared, you make them victims, and you change their mindset, and then possibly you can pass anti-gun legislation. Is that what happened in Las Vegas? Is that why the country music festival was targeted? Because those would be the people, would be the ones that we would relate to? Are they trying to terrorize our mindset and change our minds on the Second Amendment? Is that what's going on here? I have a lot of questions about that. I don't believe Stephen Paddock was a lone wolf. I don't believe that he pulled this off all by himself. And I know most of you don't either. So I am really wondering if there's a bigger motive there, and does it have to do with the Second Amendment? Because what's the best way to control the people? You have to take away their guns. So that's just my question today. This is Marjorie Greene with American Truth Seekers.
So that was sheer madness. It's also a reminder, by the way, that up until when she got in elected office, she did not call herself Marjorie Taylor Greene. She called herself Marjorie Greene. It's just branding. That's why I have not participated in it. But anyway, I was watching in real time as the video was playing of our chat of people realizing what she was saying. Yes, she was implying that one of the worst mass shootings in the history of the United States in Las Vegas, where dozens of people were killed and literally hundreds of people were injured, was a government plot to take away your Second Amendment rights. And they've said that this, of course, after virtually every mass shooting. It never actually happens that they then get the guns taken away, but for some reason they think that the US government just keeps doing these false flags and then not capitalizing on it. I don't understand why. But what she was saying there is every bit as crazy as what Alex Jones has said about Sandy Hook and any number of other attacks. And yet she remains in office. She got popular. She got a name for herself, Farron, by spreading BS like that.
Yeah, and I guess obviously after the false flag event, the Democrats are too busy patting themselves on the back for pulling it off successfully to remember that, oh God, we gotta take the guns now. Dang it, we forgot. Now I guess we gotta do another one. We were distracted. It's so dumb as to be laughable, except the fact that plenty of people believe it. Like that's what's so terrifying. Actually, a friend of mine was at that festival in Las Vegas in the crowd, and she posted this big long thing on social media a day or two after it happened, telling her story about just the sheer panic and confusion, just everybody hopping into cars, not even caring whose it was, people driving didn't care, just get in, taking them away, and just how nobody knew each other, but for a few minutes, like they were the closest people in the world to you, and you would do anything. It was a horrifying experience that she has written about several times since then. And for her to come out and say this is a false flag, this is somehow the government's plan to take your money away, absolute trash on every level. And I know that video is a couple years old, but trust me, I've seen what she's been saying about the Texas shooting. It's not much better.
Yeah, no, absolute garbage. Anyway, those are our garbage people, but 42,000 of you voted in our poll this week, and here are your top 5 garbage people. Coming in at number 5 with 1% of the vote is Bill Cassidy for his maternal mortality rate comments. Really, that only got 1%, I'm shocked. Coming in number 4 with 3% of the vote is David Perdue for his racist attacks against Stacey Abrams. At number 3 with 4% of the vote are Democratic leaders for supporting Henry Cuellar, who is literally anti-abortion. Your runner-up at number 2, at 16% of the vote, is Ted Cruz for running away from reporters when asked about guns. That Sky News reporter. But your garbage person of the week, I guess Sophie went easy on you this week. 75% went to all of the above. This week sucked. Have at it. I guess that's fair.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.